Hello everyone and welcome to a new episode of Manor Lords. With the new update that just dropped, or well, by the time you watch this video, so it's probably been a few days, I figured it's time for us to give this another go. So we're going to start a new game. I've already messed around with the banner, so we're going to be the Fighting Harps with this beautiful gentleman with the ginormous neck. And of course, we're going to change our name to arbitrary units, and then we're going to continue. Right. I don't know much about the new update, however, I do know there's a new map. So we're going to try the new map, the White Valley. And I'm trying to play with one AI opponent on the map as well. Last time I complained that I couldn't see Hildebald actually building anything. That is because he's an off-map adversary. So that means he's not building anything. Anyways, with one more, Steven, whatever. We're going to give that a try. All right. I do want to leave the center open because I think it would be nice, a nice mechanic to fight over it. And then we just need to decide where we're going to be starting. We could put ourselves in the middle between the two. I don't like that too much because when it comes to bandit camps, they are going to spawn in the uninhabited areas. Well, in addition to the others, but initially it will be one of the areas without anyone. So I'm thinking we either pick the Hiller Stein, whatever it is, or Kagavik. Viger. Okay. Maybe we will start closer to our friend over here, which could be interesting. So why don't we start here and then see where this takes us? All right, let's give this a go. As the game loads, I am armed with coffee and cookies, so what better thing to do than colony simulation? Here we are, and I've already noticed, let's click this away, that's just the win condition. Yep, fight everyone to the death. Cool. We are actually right next to our two main resources, that is a rich animal deposit and a rich mushroom deposit. Sounds overall good for survival, not too bad, but for trading, not the best. I guess with the animals we get at least some pelts out of it, so that will help us relatively early on, but then we need to figure out what to do next. Let's have a quick look at the elevation, and I see nothing. Oh, here we go. Well, it's probably because I unticked it. Anyways, we probably won't be able to build around here because it's too steep, which means our settlement likely will be focusing kind of on this overall area. Let's have a look at the underground water. Also not ideal. Up here could also be a nice spot to start, but then we're moving further away from the wild animals, which I'm hoping to kind of stay close to. All right, what about the other fertility? Wheat fertility is horrendous. I guess it's okay here. Well, plus, oh, we have a little bit down here. Nice. Flax fertility, horrible everywhere. Barley, horrible everywhere, basically. Rye. Oh, wow, even rye is pretty bad. I mean, we have a little bit of a corridor here, and I think wheat was up. Oh, look at that, actually. So I'm guessing up here will be our farming area. And then oat, this is, I think, one of the new ones for feeding your animals. So we'll probably need to use that. There's a little bit up here. So maybe like a outskirt village space. Right in the middle there, after we mow down all the trees here, actually turn this into farmland. All right, back to the underground water, because this will kind of dictate, in part, where we're building stuff. Okay, looking at that, I think we're going to utilize this space here for our initial housing, as well as this space here for the same purpose. And that tells me we're probably going to look at a line village. That's a historical village placement where everyone was built basically along a straight road, such as the King's Road right here. If we're doing this, we do need a marketplace somewhere. could consider building the church over here. And sorry, should have taken the time. Look at that. Look at how beautiful that game is. Crazy. This here could be a nice spot for our manor, but I like the idea of the church over here. So if we're going to continue this road up, put a little triangle in there, and then carve a little space out for both the market as well as the well, I think we're in a good starting position. All right, we're going to just leave it as it is right now. And then, of course, we need to start, our wood production. Wood production, logging camp, we're just going to place it here and going to have them remove all of this for potential future expansion of the settlement. We'll also want to carve out a little bit of space right there. Maybe actually right there would be more interesting to start out with. But it's easier to place that logging camp right here, so we're going to do that. And then we're going to start the expansion over in this direction. Right, with that, I am going to start things up and they can start building the logging camp because that will give us the initial material that we need in order to expand our village. Next thing we need to focus on is food. And again, forager hut, because we do have the mushrooms here. I do want to make sure we're not carving into the mushrooms. So maybe we place a road here. Kind of block this off a little bit. Is this the most realistic thing? Probably not. But overall, I want to say not too bad. Oh, wow. Almost cut that mushroom here. Anyways, forager hut right here. There would be 3 trees to be uprooted. Do we have a better spot for this? I mean, technically we could place you here. I don't quite like the idea. 2 trees. You know what? Let's build it there. All right. This will be, I think, a overall pretty decent start, and we shouldn't have to worry too much about our food supply in the early game. So I'm gonna wait now until they finish at least the logging camp, and then I'll be right back. All right, logging camp is done. Immediately gonna assign 2 families to that. So we have a good amount of log production coming along. We did get a new message from Hildebold. I don't think this means anything yet. So we're just gonna drop some rhetoric and then gonna send it off. And then we're gonna ignore the rest. Oh, how did I end up down here? Anyways, logging camp is in. Forager camp should be the next thing to be built. Shouldn't take too long. And then we're already gonna start. Oh, first of all, a well. Where is the well? Down here. Gonna place that at the end of this road. I think that makes a ton of sense. Might even have 2 roads going down past it on either side. You know what? Let's connect this up as well. Have a little small parcel kind of in the middle. And then later on, we will decorate around there as well. All right. So this is on very high. Now let's make this the highest priority. You can be on very high, and then we can already start planning out some homes. Right. Like I said, I will try not to take down too many of the big trees. I think the smaller ones are fine. They should be easy enough to remove, even in medieval times. So let's go ahead and plan out some burgage plots. And I'm thinking we're filling this all the way up. That's actually not too bad. Compared to, what was it? That's actually a bit better. If we're doing this, removing the number of plots to 5, every one of them, every single one of them actually has a little side hut, so we can easily double the population, increase the density up here, which I actually quite like. So that's working out, will be working for us or in our favor pretty fast. It does remind me though, something that I haven't quite tackled yet, is we want, of course, some storage facilities before we even place down our burgage plot. For now, approval 50%, shouldn't be too bad. Yep, and then that means we need to set down a granary as well as a storehouse. And I'm thinking what we're gonna do is split this in half, this parcel. Have a granary on the inside. Come on, don't tell me that won't fit. Really? Why wouldn't that fit? Alright, how about we remove this first? Try to place down the granary. Place then the road. And then see if we can't actually place the storage facility. Not with these roads. And I kind of don't want to take down this tree yet. Alright. While they are figuring out how to build the granary, and I'm assigning a family as a forager, we can start to figure out where our long-term industry is actually gonna go. Maybe we'll actually place the storehouse along this road. Or even just, you know, here. Let's have a quick look. Storehouse, of course, the logging camp is in the way that I placed. Should have given myself a bit more space here. What if? Why don't we just go on the other side, to be honest? No, I don't like that idea. All right, storehouse. We might move it. In the meantime, it can be here. All right, this area right there, I want to keep open, and let me actually place that down already as a marketplace. Hold on 1 second before I forget. We will move the hitching post into this corner. And now we're actually building the market. And the market can be relatively large. I don't mind that. Let's put that down here. And then let's have our settlers keep moving forward a bit. That's going to be a relatively big one. 23 stalls. But I think it'll be overall fine. So let's have them finish building the granary and the warehouse and then continue from there. So I'll be right back. All right, granary is in, storehouse is in, perfect. And we're still in March. So all of that took us about a month, well, not too bad. And we do now have 8 timber. I do need 2 more in order to build the 5 people space up there. I'm gonna assign a family to the granary in the meantime, because that is what also gives them the ability to put of course you put it in this freaking corner. Sorry. Why not in this one? Anyways. So, this will actually supply our villagers with some food, which is pretty awesome. We do have 6 months worth of food, no fuel consumption. That is fine. And 9 timber. Not too bad. Let's already set this up so we can immediately, when we have the material, set this up to be built. And like I said, we're going to turn this down to 5. Here we go. Build all of them. Sweet. And that will be our initial place of residence for our currently 5 families, which I'm hoping will, bring happiness. Right, I'm going to remove 1 family from the logging camp, so these get built a little bit faster, because our approval rating is going down pretty fast. And we need to improve this massively if we want to have some immigration. And immigration, if you remember my last playthroughs, is one of the most important things I could possibly, have in this game. Right, at some point, then, when the logging kind of has happened, we might put 3 more houses here and then have like 3 smaller vegetable plots right there that will supply our village with some additional food. But, future worries. Right, let's just watch them as they are building their new homes. All right, last house is about to be done. And then we need more additional space for additional villagers to move in. And I decided, I think we're going to just increase the density right away, because that is a little bit easier for us to do than waiting until they kind of finish logging down this area. I'll also go ahead under advanced instead of unlimited area. I'll make sure they focus on this area first. Although it looks like because these are young trees, they're not gonna chop them down. Which, fair enough. Ooh. Okay. So, all of this in place. Plenty more stuff to do. And the big question is, what are we gonna focus on first? And I think we need to get a little bit of trade up and running. So let's go ahead and expand. This might actually kill this tree, so let's build around it. We're gonna march forward towards this back area here, where we can then try to place a hunter's lodge. Where is it? Too steep. I kind of figured that would be the case. We can place you right here without any trees coming in, and you can start hunting over this way perfectly fine, which I think sounds pretty darn good. All right. The more I look at this might not be the perfect spot for the church. The church should probably be on the top of the hill. Well, this could be a nice spot for our manor. Huh. Anyways, future worries. So, let's make sure their priority, they focus on one after another. Highest, very high, high, and then the rest they can build whenever. And as they are building that, the approval rating is increasing. Homelessness is still... right. It's the memory of the homelessness that kind of makes them unhappy. But also, that tells me I'll also set the hunting camp actually to the highest priority, because that will increase the food variety and that will make everyone happier, which should help with the immigration into our little village. I also want to make sure we are removing all of these stones so we can build the church here, because I still want to build the church here after all. So let's have a look at a quarry. No, stone gatherer camp. That makes more sense. We can place you here. Perfect. You can pick all of that up. And once you are done, we have the space right there, again, to build the church. Right. Now, a lot of construction's set to be done. So let's give it a little minute and then, take it from there. All right. Autosave, hunting camp is completed. We're immediately setting in the family because, again, just to get the happiness up even further. 54%, not too bad, not too bad. Market food variety plus 1% already. You just have mushrooms. I guess we do have still some bread left. 160 in storage. This doesn't look too bad. The main shortage right now is actually fuel. And that is something we can definitely and easily work on as we get closer towards, let's say, the end of the year. I think in July or something, that's when we built a logging camp. Not a logging camp, no, it is called a logging. No, woodcutter's lodge. Probably just right here. Utilize this area for firewood. Right next to the church. Maybe we need a different spot for for wood cutting. Well, this just makes sense, to be honest. Yeah, probably gonna do this. Put the forester right there. Maybe we'll actually keep this entire area forested behind the church. I could see that. That could be nice. All right. Also probably need to, at some point soon, set up a family in the storage house, in the storehouse, so they can start putting these into storage. Both stocks are getting soaked. Why don't we temporarily remove you from here, set you in there, and then, again, take it from there. All right. Let's not fast forward yet. As we're setting all of this up, I do want to make sure we're building the trader, like I said, early on. And else will probably be one of our biggest exports. So we could set up a trader down here. Can we actually move you? Assign family, relocate. We could make additional space. And why don't we? On the highest priority, so that gets done. Okay, everyone's still complaining. Happiness is still overall good. I still wish you could just press escape to get out of this. Anyways, here we go. Let's also move the hitching post just across here next to our storehouse. I think that makes sense. And set this on a very high priority and then fast forward through that. Oop. New message. Strong militia. Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. Right. We do get the initial spears and shields to work with, which will be awesome once we have that. And we also had a new family move in. Even better. Right now, we'll let them construct all of this. And look at that. Now we are a small village. I like to see that. All right. What else? No, I think the rest is fine. We still haven't brought anything over. So let me actually just fast forward. Right, logging camp and hitching posts have been moved. Still some supplies gathered here, but that is fine. What I want to make sure is that we are building our trading post relatively early on, because with the pelt, we can sell stuff very quickly. And I would like for them to move this here, but the supplies are just in the way. So I guess we need to wait until they move this. Will they actually move this into the storehouse? Maybe not. Right, probably need just more buildings for that. So let's have a quick look again at the more houses instead. We should be able to place them in a sense very similar to what we've done before on the other side. reduce the amount of plots. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only one without an extra house with it, which I think we should be able to fix. Oh, we can't actually go one further. Interesting. What if I do that? Yep, there we go. And then from here all the way to there. Reduce that to 5. Still didn't help. Now we have 2 without that extra thing. Don't like that. Let's see what we can do. All right, you know what? We're going to keep it as that. Perfect. I mean, maybe not perfect, but good enough. So we're building more houses. Right. I'm hoping that means they will take that supply cache over here and move it soon. Also going to assign another family to the granary again, and then just going to fast forward a little bit. All right, here we go. All the houses are in now. The additional supplies here have been moved, and that means I can put the trader right at this corner, right across from the marketplace. It will also be next to the church, which I think sounds pretty good. Then I assign 2 families for now to the stone gatherer camp, so we can actually make sure these stones get taken down very quickly. And need to kind of keep an eye on the mushrooms. I guess it is fine for them to just take them down as fast as possible. Let's actually have a quick look. Toggle seasonal assignment. I like that. So right now, in summer and fall, I think I want you guys to work. Which makes a ton of sense, I think. Yeah. And then we also, now that it is July, need to focus on 2 more things in terms of productions. We need a saw pit. I'm going to place that right across from the logging camp for now. Also on the other side of the storehouse, which in my opinion at least makes sense. And then, like I said, we need a woodcutter's lodge that we're placing close by to here. Actually, it should be fine if we place it right next to the stonecutter's camp. That one will disappear at some point. And then we just need to make sure once this is constructed, we limit the area where they're actually chopping down. All right, not too bad. Not too bad. Right, still want them to finish the trading post as soon as possible before we move to anything else. So let's have them do that. And you know what? Let's just fast forward through it. All right, looks like the trading post is in. Yep, assigning a family to that. We're going to look in probably in the crafting materials, pelts, 2 per pelt, definitely. So we're opening that. And then we're going to sell or export this until we have 10. I think 10 for now is fine. Perfect. That will give us some regional wealth, and then we can start increasing our other stuff. Would be nice to upgrade the stable. Do we have? No, stable space 1, so we can't quite order another oxen, but at least not yet. But that also tells me we should probably build another hitching post just in this corner right there. I think that makes a ton of sense right next to the trading post. Let's set you on the highest priority as well, and then we're going to order, like I said, another oxen to speed things up in our village. All right, currently in terms of supplies, we have a full year's worth of food, which is awesome. Our approval rating is 68%, very nice. And when you look at the requirements for upgrading, everything is basically fulfilled except for the church access, and the church access is just waiting on them removing the stones from here. So pretty darn good, I would say. All right, hitching post complete. Let's order the oxen. Somebody will come and drop him off. Perfect. And we can just wait until that happens. All right. So as we're waiting for planks and the like, I think we're just gonna fast forward. All right, sawmill is already in, assigning a family right away. We'll need to remove one from the stone gatherer camp. And yes, I'm very well aware the woodcutter's lodge is in and nobody is gathering firewood yet. I think we'll also be okay. For now, the way it's set up, not ideal, but then again, not too shabby. All right. I mean, we could pause you. Where do I... Oh, I see. All right, let's pause you in summer, which means we have now a free family available, and that means I can already assign one in the woodcutter's lodge. Sweet. And then let's have a quick look at our animals. 12. 12 is not that many. I think I want you to keep at least 14. I think that means they will respawn a little bit faster. Respawn. Reminds me of, was that kid who put his mom into his phone as spawn point? Super funny, right? But obviously a bit weird. Anyways, we do have 5 occupied. Oh yeah, we do have plenty of living spaces available, so don't need to worry about that. I do want to increase the happiness of our settlers. But wait. Fuel. Right. I mean, the fuel requirements will be fulfilled soon. It is actually going down, probably because of that. So yeah, it'll be fine. It'll work out somehow. Let's, in the meantime, make sure they're focusing on the area up here. Oh, and probably one of the reasons why they didn't pick up the logs over there, because I removed that logging area. Anyways, doing all right. Let's, what will be our next thing, actually? We did actually make some money, it looks like. Where do we see the balance? Public order, unemployment 10%, that's fine. I don't know. Maybe while we are waiting for the church to be cleared out, let's plan for our manor. And while it would be nice to have it overlook this space, it might make more sense if we're placing it just opposite of the town church that will be over here. So if we're going to go ahead and place down a road here, let's try to make that somewhat symmetric, which I will probably horribly fail at. Close enough. We can now go into this space, put down a manor. Cute. Not enough resources. What are we lacking? Oh, planks. All right. You win. But we have the space ready for placing down our manor when we need it. There's one thing that we should keep in mind. Like I said, there are bandits on the map. Actually really close to Hildebolt. So should try to attack them soon. Right. In the meantime, let's have a look. That's a cute little village. I like that. Trading post. Same. Burgage plot. Interesting. Larger burgage plot. Cute. But I think we're overall doing better so far. Where's your fisherman's hut? Oh, right there. Oh, not even a path. Interesting. Right. Back to our settlement. So we do have 29 stone left. We also have now additional families available. So I'm going to assign a family here again to harvest the mushrooms that have grown back, which will be ultimately very nice. And then we should consider upgrading the stables to get a few more oxen in as well. Now, because we have 11 months worth of food, I don't think we need to give them backyard extensions yet, that I usually like to put. But yeah, with that much food, I think we should be all right. Let's have a quick look. Maybe we do have enough planks. We do not have enough planks yet. I did also just spend all of the timber. But when we look at the manor, 20 planks, 5 timber only. Also, I probably don't want to put that right on this road. Probably want to go ahead straight from here. Through there. Yeah, misclicked. And then expand a little bit out there. Set it a little bit back. And then put down sort of the end of the road, like at piece, on which we can then build our manor out. Which, slightly outside of the village, a little bit of a public space, where I think people can then start, I hope not complain, but potentially complain. And look how beautifully crooked that is. I'll take it. It is medieval times, so it just makes sense. And then once we have the material, we can just place this along this road. Cool. All right, one thing that I forgot that we should absolutely do. We can actually set a production limit now on the planks. I'm going to set this to 40 because otherwise it will be really hard for us to accumulate the logs that we actually need in order to, well, build our manor. This is coming along really nicely though. In terms of clearing it up, I have another look at where it's being placed. Don't quite know why it's not cutting down these trees. Let's give that a go. And like I said, at some point we do need a forester to reforest this area that our woodcutter's lodge is cutting down. However, 6 months worth of fuel, pretty sweet. And the stone is also almost gone. Kind of makes me wonder, should we build the church first? Or should we build the manor first? Let's have a quick look. If we are upgrading, we could actually make clothing out of the pelts that we have. We do not have any material here for the blacksmith. Brewery, nothing happening there. We could build or create bows. That might actually be nice. But also kind of future worries. Right. So yeah, I think let's focus on... Wait, do you actually... You are still logging stuff, right? Let's see where this oxen is going. Oh yeah, they did just cut down this tree. Perfect. All right, let's just wait until we have the timber. And it went away again. What else is using up timber? I don't know. Anyways, this up here is empty. We do have 52 gold. Now I could make some herbs. I wish the herbs would also help with like food production, not just when our villagers get sick. Not going to upgrade that yet. Rather save up the money and actually buy the other oxen, like I said. Resource was stolen by a bandit. That's not cool. How's our other resources? Free timber available. We do need 5, so give me a second. Bandit camp was sighted. Ooh, just off our territory. All right. Do we have enough timber? We still do not have enough timber. So let's fast forward this. Oh, here we go. That didn't actually take too long. Let's build our manor. And one of the reasons why I want to build this manor, yeah, we're adding the modules later. Garrison tower. Ooh. Cosmetic only. Bummer. Garrison space plus 10. Castle wall. All of that we will do later. For now, we're going to keep it basic. But I think that makes the most sense. And once we have that in, we should be able to recruit our retinue. And those are pretty hefty fighters, which again will be quite beneficial for us. So, stone area here is gone. I will remove the last family from the stone gatherer camp. And because we have the space now, we can also place down the church already. Nope, not enough goods. That makes sense. But I kind of want that space to be a little bit more straight. So let's do this. Connect this back up. Or connect this through here, this through there. And then delete the wrong road. Because that's just what we do. So I want to delete this one. And we're connecting you back in. Perfect. Now this is a little bit straighter, at least for our church. What do we need? Actually, we need more timber to build the church. So that will come. In the meantime, let's look at our manor being built. All right, manor is there. New retinue assembled. Awesome. Ready to rally tab. Okay. We also want to add our spear militia because we do have the 20 spears and 20 shields. Perfect. So let's go ahead and wait. What do you mean? Tab. Equipment is missing. Really? Oh, I guess to build them fully up. Not bad. How do I... Oh, I see. Hold tab to see what's happening. Rally. Here we go. All right. We're going to take on that bandit camp down here. So we're going to rally there. I'm going to rally you guys right there. And then we're going to take both of them and march towards the bandits. Because taking on the bandits will give us influence points. And with influence points, we can technically buy the next piece of land at some point. The middle part actually looks pretty nice. I know the iron surface or iron deposit is there, but look at salt and clay. We'd be rich. All right, let's fast forward that. In the meantime, we actually have enough material for the church. So before we start attacking, let's have them build the church that when we come back, they are hopefully done. All right, let's have a look. The menu has changed a little bit. Push forward, shield wall. So I want the spear militia to be the shield wall, whereas our retinue can actually then go ahead and attack from, well, behind. All right. 71% effectiveness. I guess that's fine. Let's actually move them here already. I want 2 rows. And our retinue. Are you guys running? You're not supposed to be running. Disband units, spread out. No, thank you. Run to position. We're turning that off. You're not running. Oh, well, you got the right idea. Missile alert. Oh, interesting. Uh-oh. So the bandits are gone, which means they are likely on their way to attack us. And that tells me I will hold my position here. Enemy unit has been spotted. I don't quite see them, but you never really do in the forest. Oh, they're actually right there. And we are here, and our spearmen just getting into position. All right. Let's slightly reposition. And they are attacking. I think that was overall, I mean, it looks pretty messy, but I think it's pretty good. All right, let's see how this goes. Did we win? I heard them scream. We haven't lost anyone. I'm going to send our spearman back. And with our personal unit, we're going to go in and take down the bandit camp. Oh, there they are. In combat? I don't think so. Let's watch them run away. A new message. All right. Searching through the enemy belongings. Stash of goods. We're not going to send it to the nearest town. I think our treasury is more important right now because that allows us to recruit militia and then potentially attack more people. I mean, defend against bandits. So belongs to my treasury. Here we go. 109. Sweet. That was that. Now let's go ahead and move over to this side because there's another bandit unit that we want to take on. Wait, which way are you guys going? Maybe we need to... that seems like a better way to move forward. All right, I'm going to fast forward through that. Church has still not been built. Almost all the material is there though. So why don't we actually do that and just watch both of the stuff happen. All right, church is in. Bandits also have stolen 11 pelts. That is a lot. That is a lot. Look how many free people we have. 4 free families. So I'm definitely going to assign someone to the church. And that also means we can start upgrading. Burgage plot, level 2. Yeah, we do that. Because I'm hoping to turn the pelts into armor for, well, us, which I think will be ultimately a really good thing for us to move forward with. All right. In the meantime, now with the church being built, we can focus on our military units. Oh, look at that. We are a medium village, which I think means our first level 2 burgage plot is done. And yes, indeed, it is. So let's put down a tailor's workshop right away. Also gonna upgrade another one so we can build some bows. And then we will again be in a much stronger position to defend ourselves. In the meantime, I will take on that second bandit camp. It is only October, so we're actually in a really good position compared to the last time that I played this. I guess the experience pays off. Enemy unit has been spotted. Oh yeah, they are already attacking us. I was hoping to let them rest a little bit longer. 53% fatigue, so we might actually be losing one or two. We have not lost anyone. Very awesome. Let's go ahead, do what we did before, send our retinue through. No active recipe. Yeah, we'll deal with that in a second. Our other units. Oh, there's actually no bridge here, except for back there. Interesting. Anyways, we'll send them into our territory and then we can disband on them. So we free up the worker slots for, well, to do more stuff again. New message, same as before, belongs to my treasury. Because our village is doing fine. So we don't need to worry about any of that. Let's send our personal guard home as well. And then focus on the plots here. All right. General, nope. No, actually, yeah. So linen into clothing, yarn into clothing, and linen into gambeson. So that was the wrong one to do. Okay. We technically need a tanner. It's the Clobber's Workshop. No, lever from lever. All right, anyways, we need a bowyer. So let's do this. This will, it's an unfortunate mistake, but it won't be the worst. We'll figure this out when the time comes. But it will be a little bit longer. Let me quickly bring our troops back home. Oh, and I just got the message that the bandit corpses need to be buried. So we need a burial ground. Corpse pit. I guess we could call it a corpse pit. You would think behind the church kind of makes sense. But at the same time, I kind of don't want it to be too close to our settlement. Where could we put a corpse pit reasonably? It's too steep, I kind of figured. So much of this is too steep. Actually, maybe just down here. We put it a little bit into the forest. So it's not directly inside. Gonna make sure it has a path connection in as well. Set this to the highest priority because otherwise our people might get sick if they don't get buried. No active recipe. Oh, this is gonna annoy the hell out of me. But it's also fine. Our spearmen are almost home. Disband unit. Yep. Here we do. Perfect. Let's have you guys actually run over. Don't want to wait for too long. There we go. Disband. And now we have all of our workers back in the village to help us grow and stay alive. Animal hunting ground is also maxed again. Perfect. I think we're doing pretty well. And this cute little village. Anyways, I'm going to call this an episode. So thank you all for watching and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.